Tucked subtly between the sleek leather cover of the room service directory and the elegantly crafted wine catalog was a plain envelope. Its only distinguishing feature was the delicate lettering of my initials inked softly in one corner. From my seat at the bar in the hotel lobby, I watched her hand hover uncertainly before picking it up, as if the paper itself might burn her fingers. My whiskey, rich and golden, swirled lazily in the glass I cradled, nearly empty. A faint, cold smirk tugged at my lips, never touching my eyes. The moment her gaze landed on the envelope, understanding dawned on her face like a curtain being drawn back. The carefully constructed life she had built began to crumble, every piece coming undone by my deliberate hand. Just 6 months earlier, I had believed without question that I was in love with her. Our Sundays had been blissfully slow, spent tangled in sheets, whispering about the future we imagined together. Impulsive trips swept us to distant destinations, chasing the thrill of spontaneous flights. She had a rare ability to restore my belief in love that saw me as I truly was, not just as the wealthy man others perceived. She was persuasive, I'll give her that. I nearly slipped a ring on her finger. But then, a quiet unease began to take root. Subtle at first, like a barely visible crack in fine glass. Her phone buzzed constantly when she retreated to the bathroom, the door locking firmly behind her. My own drawers, once left casually open, were now closed tight with locks I didn't recognize. Her conversations changed. The word "we" vanished, replaced only by "I." I convinced myself to ignore it. Love makes excuses. But the truth couldn't stay hidden forever. It arrived one night in the form of a hidden phone, stitched into the lining of her travel bag. Its screen glowed at 3 a.m., revealing a message never meant for my eyes. Nassau flight booked. He doesn't suspect a thing. Can't wait to see you. In that instant, the warmth was drained from my world. I didn't confront her. There was no shouting or accusations. I kissed her softly on the forehead, whispered that I loved her, and set my plan into motion. First, I instructed my attorney to transfer the title of our Bahamian villa into a discreet trust under my sole ownership. I quietly severed every financial tie we shared, ensuring that the moment we landed on the island, her credit cards would be declined. In a final flourish, I donated her accrued airline miles to a charity for victims of betrayal. I thought the irony fitting, but the true elegance of my strategy was in what she never anticipated. I tracked down her secret lover, Ethan Caldwell, a real estate agent with a wife and 2 young kids. Confrontation would have been crude and ineffective. Instead, I made him an offer. Full immunity in exchange for cooperation. Buckling under his guilt, he surrendered everything: texts, voice messages, compromising photos. With his help, I built an irrefutable archive of her lies, crafted down to the last detail. The hotel we stayed in was part of my setup, carefully disguised as a romantic getaway. She believed we were reconnecting. The suite had ocean views. The Prosecco was chilled, every detail designed to mask the truth. I played my role perfectly, doting, attentive, completely convincing. On our final morning, while she indulged in a spa treatment downstairs, I placed the envelope where she was sure to find it. Inside was a carefully organized collection of her own betrayals, screenshots of messages, voicemail transcripts, financial documents. Included was a copy of the prenuptial agreement she thought I'd signed, but hadn't, and a sworn affidavit from Ethan, weighed down with shame. Sitting on top was a legal notice reclaiming the beachfront property she had hoped to claim for herself. It was now, without question, mine alone. When she returned to the room and discovered the envelope, time seemed to pause. Her skin lost its color, her breathing faltered as she scanned the evidence of her own deception. Her hands gripped the papers like lifelines, though nothing could stop the tide of truth crashing over her. Then came the moment I had been waiting for. Not tears, not pleas, just the slow, undeniable realization that she had lost. Her eyes searched the lobby until they found mine. I met her gaze with a raised glass, a silent toast. She didn't break down, that wasn't her style. Instead, she straightened her robe, clinging to the last shred of dignity, and walked away. Her steps betrayed her shaken composure. A single page slipped from her grasp and fluttered to the floor, ignored by the bellhop who stepped around it like discarded trash. She passed me without a word, the silence between us louder than any confrontation. I waited 15 minutes before returning to our suite. She was gone. The wardrobe hung open, her clothes scattered in her hasty departure. On the vanity, untouched, lay the emerald pendant I had given her in Venice. I left it there, an elegant reminder of what she lost, staring back at her whenever she looked in the mirror. 2 days later, she sent one final message. "You call this a victory?" I never responded. It had never been about winning. It was about precision, about revealing the truth she had buried beneath lies. She took me for a fool, an easy mark. But I was meticulous, patient. I gave her enough rope, then placed the noose in her own hands. And now, when she tells the story, if she ever does, it will always end the same way. In a sunlit lobby, with a plain envelope, marked only by my initials, left by the man who uncovered everything and walked away untouched. She remains in ruins. I am simply free.